What's going on, Knicks Nation? We want to welcome you to the Sheer Brilliance Knicks channel. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you all. Listen, the New York Knicks went into the new year right versus the Houston Rockets. Got this victory out of the way. So we want to be here to talk about it, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. It is football Sunday, but Happy New Year to everybody. I'm wishing nothing but the best, prosperity, and dominance going into the new year for you and our team. All right? So we're going to get it under the way, but there's no other way that we celebrate Knicks Deli or Knicks victory than with Knicks Deli, okay? So this is the Knicks Deli edition portion of this New Year's celebration, all right? And I love it. This was a great opportunity to get back on track, get to where we belong, back in the win column. And man, just a lot to cover today, a lot to talk about, and we will do it Knicks Deli edition style. You know, hopefully I'm going to be having my special guest join me to help, look at this victory. We're not going to deep dive into the statistics, but we definitely going to point out, who is our bacon, egg, and cheese, who is our dollar slice, who is our chopped cheese of the game. So if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. And I want to explain to you a little bit about this Knicks Deli edition segment, all right? So if you're from New York, or if you're going to be visiting New York, one of the things that you have to do, you absolutely have to visit a deli in New York, or what we call a bodega, okay? Now, a deli and a bodega is important to the culture, okay? When you go in there, there's several things that are on the menu. Here in Knicks Deli, there's only 4 items on the menu here at Knicks Deli, okay? First is the bacon, egg, and cheese, and that's a staple in New York, okay? Now, you can't go into the deli and say, can I have a bacon, egg, and cheese? You have to go in there and say, yo, what up? Let me get a bacon, egg, and cheese, okay? And if it's the actual deli where Aki's at, he'll be like, okay, all right? So your bacon, egg, and cheese in terms of the Knicks team is who are the 3 ingredients that stood out during this game and worked together perfectly to make that thing the perfect ingredients to a great sandwich, okay? So we're going to look at who were the 3 players who stood out last night and helped us get this win. Next on the menu is the dollar slice, okay? Now, everybody in the world knows that New York has the best pizza, okay? New York has the best pizza. So ultimately, what we're going to look at is who is that staple. In New York, the dollar slice is a go-to. So stabilizing. So we want to look at the player who is the stabilizing force in this game that we relied on to help us cruise to this victory, okay? Then we're going to look at the chopped cheese. Now, the chopped cheese is relatively new to that New York menu, but that thing be busting. So we're going to look at who came in the game, who maybe normally doesn't have an impact, or who's relatively new to the team, or maybe new to this rotation, this regular rotation, but their impact on the game was busting, okay? And the last 2 items on the menu we have is, let me see. So I said the bacon, egg, and cheese. We're going to look at those 3. The dollar slice, the chopped cheese, and last item on the menu is the quarter water. So you can't have the dollar slice. You can't consume the chopped cheese. You can't get the bacon, egg, and cheese down if you don't have nothing to wash it down with. So we're going to look at who's the quarter water of the game, who came in and their impact on the game, whether it's 1 quarter or a little bit throughout the game, helped us wrap up this win and get this victory to kick off the new year right. All right. So that's what we're going to be looking at here at Knicks Deli. After that, we're going to talk about the nah, son, nah, you wildin' moment of the game. And that's a moment within the game or moment before or after or something surrounding our Knicks team that made you look at the screen sideways and say, nah, son, nah, you wildin'. Okay. We're going to talk about that and then we're going to wrap it up. But all throughout, I'm going to get you involved in terms of people who are in the chat, part of the SB community or simply part of Knicks Nation. We're going to talk about it, all right? If you're viewing this afterwards, continue to love your support. Comment below. Who is your chopped cheese of the game? Who's your bacon, egg, and cheese? Who is your dollar slice? And who is your quarter water? Okay? So we will get into it. So I want to start with who is the bacon of the game, okay? So when we talk about the bacon of the game, who was the one person that really kind of kicked it off and made this thing pop for us. All right. And that person would be Julius mother flipping Randle. Julius Randle. Okay. Julius is my bacon of the bacon, egg, and cheese. Let me see. Julius has been bugging out this season. All right. He is clearly back to the style and the level of play he was playing 2 years ago. All right. And I would say 2 years ago minus, he was making some pretty miraculous shots 2 years ago. But he is steady. He is consistent. He is producing. And he is prime in terms of, he's prime for two routes. Okay. He's either prime to be one of the real integral pieces to lead us to a playoff run, or he's prime for shipping out. Okay. But I don't want to talk about that right now. We're going to revisit that. But in terms of this game, Julius Randle had 35 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Clearly, this man is in his bag. I love the fact that he looks focused. And he is, you know, he's just ready to prove the doubters wrong. He's done so all season. Okay. Julius Randle has been impressive. At this point, I think he's completely flipped the script, and he is back in the good graces of Knicks fans. All right, at least most Knicks fans. Okay, I'm just proud of him. I'm proud that he didn't run. I'm proud that, you know, in order to play in New York, you got to deal with everything that comes with being in the New York spotlight. All right, that is dealing with the criticism. You know, you bask in the success. You know, in that season 2 seasons ago, you know, he was on the Joe Budden podcast and all these things. So he was enjoying the fruits of what comes with being successful in New York. But also he had to endure the downs that came with it. And a lot of it was his fault. But he ate it, had a little brief moment in the beginning of the season. He took ownership of it, and he's just never let it impact his progress on the floor. And what I love is, once again, he doesn't seem like he's trying to force himself to be the leader of this team. It's almost like he knows that's Brunson. He's the point guard. That's his job. My job is just to come in and put in my work. So he's been doing that. I know personally, if Kobe was his mentor, Kobe would be proud of him. He's really been able to lock in, and it shows results on the floor. He did what he was supposed to do last night. He came in. He established that he was the best player on the floor. And clearly he started even chirping at the Houston bench. You know what I mean? Like, that's the Julius I want to see. Once again, it broke our losing streak. So that's one thing. And some people may point at it being the Rockets. But just as easily, we lost to San Antonio, who was equally as young and equally as green the other night. So I don't care who's on your calendar. If you are up and you're dominating, I have no problem with you popping your collar and flexing on them while you're doing so. They do it to us. So I really want to give Julius the bacon of the bacon, egg, and cheese. Shout out to him real quick. Who do you have as your bacon? All right, so let's talk about that as well. And while you put that in the chat, I'm going to go to the chat because it is the new year and I want to celebrate with my people. Okay, so we got Anthony Barker. Let's go. Let's go, brother. Happy New Year to you, bro. He says, can we go out and get Damian Lillard? Oh, we're gonna come back to that. All right. Please stop with all the stop caps. I don't know what that means. But in terms of Damian Lillard, man, it could be possible. It could be possible. We're going all the stop gaps. Please stop with all the stop gaps. I think it's probably what you were saying. But shout out to you, man. We're going to revisit that at the end when we talk about, you know, all of the possible options that are out there. All right. Next, we got Wellflower. Shout out to you, Wellflower. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Says Juju wants another bag, only bigger. We'll see. We're going to see how that goes. All right. And next, we have Blaze1BX. Shout out to you, bro. Happy New Year. SB community, let's get it. Let's get it. Happy New Year. We're going to dominate this year. Dominate personally and let's see if we can dominate on the floor and scoop up and stack up some wins. Good win for the last game of 2022, and here's to a better 2023. 100%. Run up the thumbs up. Put Happy New Year in the chat. Listen, man, it all turns around. Listen, we have another year behind us. We're fortunate to have air in our lungs so we can experience this year, at least this day, for 2023 as well. And as long as we got air in these lungs, we're going to dominate, and we're going to support our squad. So, in terms of that, go out and vote these cats to the All-Star game. Like them or love them, they're on our squad, and we won't be capping because they are performing and they're putting their effort out. So, once you get off of this, this chat, Knicks Deli, we're going to head over to vote these cats in. All right. So Julius is the bacon, egg, and cheese. I want to jump back into that because I don't want to push up on NFL Sunday. All right. So next up, we're going to look at who is the egg of the game. Who is the egg of the game? So for me, the egg of the game was IQ. Can we talk about Emmanuel quickly today? Can we talk about Emmanuel quickly? So personally, I want to say, for me going into the season, especially at the start of the season, IQ was a huge question mark. I want all of our young guys to get time, and in order to get time, some people got to be pulled out the lineup. Tibbs did that. He removed Rose, he removed Fournier, he removed Cam. Now, you're going to have people all across Knicks Nation who some are in agreement, some are not, okay? You can't please everybody, but what we've been asking for over the last 2 to 3 years is to play these kids, and IQ is one of them. And to me, and I know to him as well, sometimes it makes me sick to see, Tyrese Maxey just balling out in Philly. And you know that they were on the same team, him and IQ, in Kentucky. You know what I mean? So to have him and IQ on the same squad in Kentucky, I see you, Chance. I'm gonna get you here in a moment. To have him and IQ at Kentucky balling out, IQ was the better player while they were there. So I know there's moments where he's just like, yo, if I could get the minutes, if I could get the opportunity. Well, to tie up this last 2022 month of December, IQ has been crushing it. He's been crushing it. So before I get into that any further, I'm going to let you all know I got a special guest who's joining me. Let me see if I can bring him in. Let me see if he's with me. I know there was some technical difficulty, so give me one moment. My guy, Chance, are you there? Chance, can you hear me? All right. Yeah, I know it's testing. Can you hear me? Do you got sound?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Hey, let's get it.
Yo.
Listen, welcome, my brother. Happy New Year.
Still having technical difficulty. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
We can hear you clearly. You may freeze up a little bit. We're gonna get this thing right. But folks, SB community, that's my guy Chancious. He's been on a couple of Knicks Delis. He's going to be on my channel more often. Phenomenal perspective, former, amateur player in terms of basketball, hip hop entrepreneur, as well as Knick fan. All right. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to get it right. You with me?
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, brother.
Okay.
So I just introduced the crowd. I just introduced the SB community to who you are. Folks, you can see him on the screen now. This is Chancious. He's a Knicks fan. All things hip-hop culture. You can check him out on Twitter. His Twitter handle is @CHAN.
I'm still having some technical difficulty over here. Hold
on. All right. CIOUS, Chancious M. All right. So we're going to get him right as well. But until then, we're going to dive into the egg. IQ. IQ had 27 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. All right? 27 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. He had a phenomenal game in San Antonio as well. IQ, what I love about IQ, and nobody could ever take this from him, when he was struggling with his shot, when he was struggling in terms of the fans, because IQ is one of the rare players on this Knicks team that really takes into consideration what the fans say. He's on social media. You see him with his fits. In the off season, he's engaging with, Knicks Nation social media. He's really tied in. But when he hit that dip and he began struggling, I see you, Chance. I'm gonna get you in a moment as well. When IQ was struggling, the fans started to turn on him a little bit. You know what I mean? You started to hear those trade rumors pop up, and talking about, you could throw IQ in that bag as well. And you could tell, like, it almost set in with him. Before, where it was always my biggest thing I enjoyed about watching IQ play. Not only is his infinite range, not only is his fire, his determination, but that joy for the game. He's always expressed that joy for the game. And man, in that stretch coming out of, his struggles with his shot, it almost seems like that joy of the game was gone. Like he's playing with a locked-in focus. And it's almost kind of like where we shared that experience with him because he was engaging with us. It seems like I hear you guys, so now I got to lock in and show you that I ain't no scrub. I ain't no whack player. You know what I mean? Let me see if we can get one more attempt at getting Chance in here.
Yo.
My guy Chance, you with me?
Yes, sir. I'm with you finally, man.
Yeah,
crazy trying to get on this morning.
All right. So listen, man, for the chat, I know I paused in the middle of the giving my egg of the game, which is for IQ, but pretty much let's start off with you giving me, what's your reaction from last night's win?
It was a much needed win, man. It was just a much needed win, man. We couldn't go to Texas, man, and get a be the egg out of the 3 games, you know what I'm saying? So I was kind of like, we definitely need to face him, but they're hungry. They play hard, and everything. So, I liked what I saw, was very short-handed. Randall came in, he was determined. He's been consistent with his mindset and his energy every game, win or lose. And I love that about him. No matter where it stands, I heard him, throw the chair and all of those rumors and stuff like that. And I'm glad, people knew what it was. It was frustration. They should have never lost the game. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I understand where the energy is coming from, where it was like, and he's stepping up as a leader. That shows like you're very serious about being that leader. We're very short-handed, and he stepped up. And I like how RQ and Grimes and all of the rest of the soldiers stepped up. So I'm very, I was very pleased, man. A much-needed win, man. We could have lost against a low-tier team, man. We just can't do that. Not at this point.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you went back to Randall, so I could quickly take a step back. He was my bacon of the game as well. He had 35 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. This is him. This is what he's been this season. You know what I mean? And the last time we saw this level of consistency and this level of all-star level play was 2 years ago. It was 2 years ago in that run, for the All-Star game and most improved player run. You know what I mean? So I really wanted to give him his props. I think Knicks Nation, because we're knowledgeable in terms of the game, we giving him his props as well. So I hope that he sees that. I know that he may now has gotten to the point where he don't check social media, but the missus is on social media. So I hope that the missus sees any of these videos or whatever have you. Salute to Jules. He's doing this thing. Salute. We respect him. We respect when he just locks in and be who he is. He could be a dominant player in games.
Yeah. Yep. Nah, definitely, man. I'm just happy that he's locked in. He's gonna get his touches, but being short-handed, I really like what I'm seeing from him. He's definitely stepping up his game. Like when you short-handed like that, you gotta be that guy. We know Bronson is our point guard, but now, with IQ stepping in there as the point guard, I see that he's still he's like, oh, I still don't have to be that point forward. Let me give it up to, IQ, let him run, make some plays, like Grimes run and make some plays. And I'm still going to have to be that guy that's gonna to carry the scoring load, most nights, and we do need him for that. That he's supposed to be our leading scorer. He's so
Absolutely.
dynamic. He can score from every level on the floor. So we definitely need him
100%.
to do what he's been doing, but being short-handed and him still coming with that same energy is definitely I'm definitely happy with what I'm seeing, and he's been consistent. So I don't look for nothing less than what Randall's been given. I ain't looking at nothing less than that. You can have off games, and that's fine. It's basketball. You're not going to be efficient every night. But
Right.
if you bring that mindset and that energy, that's what we need from him every single night. Do other things besides scoring sometimes,
Absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Randall later, man. His availability.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into that later. But next, my egg was IQ. You know what I mean? So what are your thoughts on IQ? His performance, he had 27 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. And I know it wasn't a win in San Antonio, but he had 36 in San Antonio as well. So I talked a little bit about, I'm glad to see him now stepping into his shine. Because Tyrese Maxey was his teammate in Kentucky.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? And Tyrese Maxey's been balling. So talk to me a little bit. Give me some feedback on IQ.
Man, IQ's seeking the opportunity, man. Yes. We shorthand, he's stepping in. He's like, I'm gonna show the world what I'm about. Maybe Bronson, I know we signed Boston, everybody wants Boston. Maybe he probably looking like, what? Maybe I should have been, promoted to that starting lineup, like you said, like Maxey did over in Philly. So I feel like he's working with that chip on his shoulder, got something to prove and everything. And he's just been that guy. What I'm so happy about, because he's a streaky scorer, and him getting more minutes and more opportunities, because sometimes he'll get into a little droughts and but he stays consistent defensively, and he tries to attack the defense a lot of the times. But what I love about it is that he is seeking the opportunity to get his shot right, to build a confident shot, and his teammates see that, and they just letting him just be him. We need him to score. We need him to be that. And I think we talked. I had a conversation a while back, and I was like, you know what? I could see IQ like a Lou Will.
Facts.
And I was like, coming off the bench, you can have him drop 20, 30 on a given night. That's who IQ is. IQ is it could be a top 6-man candidate in the league. Easy.
Agreed. But I think he could also be a starter for another team.
He can.
You know what I mean? So that's something that we got to look at as well. Chance, man, I know we're a little bit behind, but I want to get to this chat, and I'm going to back up. I'm going to start from the beginning. So Anthony Barker started us out at the beginning. He says, can we go out and get Damian Lillard? Please stop with all the stop gaps, So I already know. I'm gonna give you a moment to comment on that real quick, but I already know how you feel about Dame Dollar.
Yeah, you already know, man. I'm a big Dame guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Big fan of Dame's game. As of right now, Dame is locked in Portland and actually playing good basketball over there. Dame is the type of player, and I could tell the type of person he is, that he's gonna stay locked in. We're gonna create rumors and the buzz about how we want him, New York, this, that, and the other. You have Screaming A. Smith go on there like, I heard that Dame. We already been there, done that. Dame is gonna leave when he feels like it's time to leave. Do I feel like he's gonna spend the rest of his career in Portland? Absolutely not. But I think it's gonna come to a point where it's just gonna be like everybody's gonna be on the same page of him just being traded or leaving the free agency when the time comes up again. But I man, listen, if Bronson keeps playing like he's playing and we making noise, I mean, if that could be something that could be explored. Bronson for Lillard and some picks and all of that come down the line. But as of right now, Dame's locked in, and I feel like we locked in with Bronson. So at this point, I don't even want to revisit that right now.
Absolutely. So, Chance, let me quarterback this thing right now, because I got a number of comments in the chat. So I'm gonna rattle them down, and if there's any that stand out, we gonna get at it. So shout out to My guy Whaleflower as well. Juju want another bag, only bigger. That could be something too. Blake 1BX, always the supporter, always. Happy New Year, SB community. Let's go. Good
Yes,
win
sir.
for the last game of the 2022. And here's to a better 2023. Tip of the cap to you, Blaze
Yes,
1BX. Wellflower says, nah, I don't want Dame. Let's go. Wellflower also says, Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, man.
Yeah. Blaze 1BX says, the bacon is Julius Randle, the egg is IQ, and the cheese was Mitchell Robinson. Let's go. We're about to hop on to the cheese as well. Wellflower also says, I love this team, love this roster, love seeing IQ get off. I couldn't agree anymore.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't agree anymore. We're not a perfect squad, but I love the fact that we are growing, man. Like, we got young players, they're developing, and we letting them grow. I got a few more. Wellflower also says, love that young cat. IQ, I just don't want him to go. Wellflower also comments and says, yeah, Cam is lost in the shuffle, but it's a long season. It's a long season, y'all. Don't give up on him. Facts. Blaze 1BX also says, IQ is taking a huge leap this year, and I'm loving it. In my opinion, Toppin would have too, if he got playing time. We're going to get into that. That's part of my nah, son, nah, you wildin' moment of the game. We're going to get into that. And also, we got Steve Mendez. Shout out to you. Happy New Year. Yeah, we will lose IQ to the Heat as a starter. I hate you, Steve. But you might be right. You might be right. I think imagine having him and Tyler Hero both gunning. You know what I mean? That's you might be right. You might be onto something.
Wait, yo, we'll take Jimmy. Go ahead. You want IQ? We take Jimmy.
You know, but my biggest thing though is I know you can't. It's almost impossible to look at this team and think you can really go far and deep in the playoffs and compete for a championship with as young of a roster as we have right now. But we don't have babies anymore. Like, they're young in the league. They may be young in age, but they are 3 or 4 years in.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They're coming around the corner, getting close to their prime. So in terms of the cheese of the game, I had as my cheese Quentin Grimes. So Quentin Grimes, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. I know someone had Mitch Robb as their cheese. Talk to me a little bit about what you've been seeing from Quentin Grimes.
Quentin Grimes. I really like what I'm seeing from him, man. His shot, he's consistent with his shot. His shot is falling. What I like really most about him, he don't settle for a shot. He attacks the basket. He tries to get other people involved. He looks for his shot when he's open. And people don't notice this. He doesn't hesitate on that shot. When he comes off of screens, he pulls the trigger. Like, he kind of knows, like, okay, I'm gonna get this. I created this space. When I come off the screen, I'm gonna pull the trigger on it. And that's what, like, his quick decisions. Whether he's gonna attack the basket, where he's gonna shoot the ball, where he's gonna make a play. I feel like he has high basketball IQ. That's right. Where he kind of could see the game. That play within the game, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna attack the basket, or I see that guy on the wing. It feels like he has a pulse on the game, and it feels like he just plays within that, and I love his demeanor, man. Like, he doesn't get mad. He'll get mad at himself, but he doesn't. He ain't arguing with the refs. He ain't. He's just playing the game, which that's what I love about it. Just play the game, and let the game and let everything take care of itself. You know what I'm saying? Randall likes arguing. Let Randall do all the arguing with the refs. But but Grimes, I love his I love his pace and his mental when it comes to both ends of the floor and just playing within the game.
Man, I don't know if I could say it any better, man. He continues to just impress me. He can shoot that thing, man.
Yeah.
There are a couple of times that the camera caught the angle with him releasing the basketball, and you could see the arc, the line. Yep. You know what I mean? I was just like, yo, it's a beautiful thing to watch, man. He's young. We have a young sniper on our team. He can drive and get to the basket. He finishes around the basket.
Yep.
You know, he's shifty. Like and he was at home. He's from Houston. He was at home last night. So, you know, you got to show out.
Yeah, he was trying to show a little something.
Yeah,
definitely.
you got to show out. So, good. So we had the Bacon Julius, the Egg IQ, and Quentin Grimes was the cheese for our bacon, egg, and cheese this morning.
Yes,
so
sir.
shout out to those cats.
Yes, sir.
All right. Next up on the menu at Knicks Deli is the dollar slice. The dollar slice, once again, is who is that stabilizing player? Because the dollar slice is a stabilizing force on the menu in New York. Who's the stabilizing player of the game for you, Chance?
You got to be Mitchell, man.
Yeah, let's get it.
That's it. You know what I mean? We got the guy in the middle, man. That's just AK. You know, this reminds me of Camby. You know, having that guy in the middle. You get what I'm saying? Just having that guy solidifies in the middle. That's gonna rebound, is gonna block shots. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what? When Mitchell Robinson is doing his thing, man, give him a play for a jumper, man. Like let's get an elbow jumper or something.
Well, time out. Just to take a step back, you saw that they fed him in the post last game.
Yeah. I think
he had like 20 points and 16 rebounds. A couple of times they gave him that thing in the paint and he went to work.
Yeah.
And he said I'm not part of the game plan in terms of offense. My role is very specific. But don't think I can't work if you give me that thing in the box.
Yes, sir.
Give me that thing in the paint. But you know what I mean? but yeah. You know, I love Mitch, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm telling you, there was the murmurs at the beginning of the season with Miles Turner and DeAndre Ayton. I hear all that. I understand that some of the fan base wanted some scoring from the 5 spot. Yeah. But we drafted this cat young. We developed him. Like, how do you invest that much of your time, your effort, your development program into a player that you drafted at 54 and he's one of the best bigs in the league and he's best for what you're trying to do? Yep. To have a staple at center who is a 7-footer, agile, defensive oriented. You know, even when he like blocks shots now, he blocks it and keeps it within the game. Like he's thinking of within the game, not just blocking it out of bounds. The baddest offensive rebounder in the game. Come on, man, put some respect on Mitchell Robinson's name. Yeah. Stop playing with that man.
Yeah, and he got his money. And the thing is, what I love about it, he got his money. Yep. And he's still balling. You know, we always talk about guys that get their money and they take that time off now. It seems like he's trying to just, he's finally healthy. Mm-hmm. He's playing, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And I feel like he just mentally is there. Like he's like, okay, this is my job. I'm gonna get my 15. I'm gonna get my 15 boards. I'm gonna get my 5-6 offensive boards in the mix. I'm gonna block my shots. You know what I'm saying? But his main job is like just to know that his guys are going to feed off of him. Because, easy baskets. I think we're easily one of the best transition teams as our pace in the game right now. So by him rebounding, outlet passes, just to get in the, you know what I mean? He's a big part of the offense without even being a part of the offense, like he says. You know what I'm saying? Because those defensive rebounds are big. You know, that gets us out in the breaks, that get us quick points, keeps up the energy and the pace that we're used to. So shout out to Mitch Robinson. Definitely that slice, that dollar slice.
All day, every day. Shout out to Mitch Rob, man. I'm just so proud. I'm proud of so much in terms of this team, man. But I'm real proud of his progress. I'm proud that he don't joke around no more. He's straight serious. There was even a Boban tried to joke with him on the foul line. Mm-hmm. And he acknowledged, like he shook his head, but there was no laughter from Mitch. Mitch is on he's on a mission. Let me jump to the chat, man, and we're gonna switch it up a little bit and see if we can move the conversation around some of their questions.
Yeah.
Let me see. So we have, let's go back to Steve Mendez, my guy. Says IQ is going to get the bag. Bro, I agree.
Yo.
He definitely has a place in this league.
Yeah.
Blaze 1BX says Grimes is the best shooter we've had since Houston. And my main man Starks.
Yo, you know what?
Go ahead, Chance.
You know, I gotta go with my man Melo, man, all day. But you know, he right there though. He right there.
Yo, you just like my guy Trippy OG on Twitter, man. I'm like, yo, every time you get a chance to slide Legend Mello in there, somebody wants to bring back.
You know.
I'm like, y'all do so, man. So what do you think about Steve's question? He says, how are you guys feeling about Deuce's shot? Deuce McBride has really been struggling with his shot lately, but how do you feel?
It's part of the process. We was just talking about IQ shot a couple of months ago, about a month ago.
Yep.
You know, and everything. Just keep up the defensive intensity, man. The shot is gonna come, man. This is basketball.
Yeah.
The confidence in the shot, that's gonna come. I think when we talk about, you know, putting him in the starting lineup, and I think he got his opportunity to be in the starting lineup like that, just to get that, you know, the pace of the game and just to understand how it feels to be a starter and stuff like that. I think his shot is definitely gonna come around. You know, that pressure's gonna come off, because when you short-handed, you get thrown in that starting lineup, and then you're gonna get the increased minutes. Now the pressure's like for you to produce comes up. Young guys can't handle that to the point of where we're gonna look at them like, oh, he missed a wide open three, or he's only 3 for 12 from the field and stuff like that. Keep up the defensive intensity. It happened with IQ. IQ kept his defense efficiency high. Deuce do the same thing. The shot is gonna come, you know, and everything. So, you know, I ain't worried about Deuce, man. Deuce is a warrior, man. His mentor's there. He got a great mentor and Rose there that's gonna keep him grounded, not have him get down on himself, you know, and everything. Because essentially, if you look at it, he's really taking Rose's spot, you know, in the rotation. So, with Rose being there and embrace it and really just getting him through mentally the part of not getting down on your shot, man. And I think he's gonna be okay. But he definitely got all of the right tools for it to be efficient, you know, 3-point shooter, mid-range shooter, and everything, and hit your free throws. You know, he'll be all right.
Yeah, I love those points, man. Like, you just spot on. It's almost like you were looking at all of my notes, bro.
Yeah.
While I was watching the game last night, excuse me, I was just like, yeah, he's off. But he's still always engaged on the defensive end.
Yeah.
You know, so when he's out there, it's not like he's wasting space where you're wondering like, damn, you know, this person has gotten so many minutes, but he's made no impact. There was a period of time where Cam was doing that, you know, and Cam is my guy. But there was a period of time where Cam was out there on the floor and he wasn't having any type of impact. If he didn't have an impact offensively, he wasn't having an impact defensively. You know what I mean? And Deuce is doing the same. One thing I absolutely love that I noticed last night, and I wrote it down, they kept feeding him. Yeah. It doesn't matter how many times he missed the shot. If he was wide open, there was no one hesitating feeding Deuce the ball. And that showed me so many things. It showed me trust. It shows me the confidence that they have in their teammate. And that's a confidence builder for them as well. And it just shows like, yo, they're on the same page, bro. Yeah. They're on the same page. And I don't care what you say, what his output offensively is. When him and Grimes are on the floor, they're just disruptive defensively. Yeah. And real quick, I wanted to point out something that I heard Tibbs say in his post game. He had some words post game. He said he told them we're the best. We're one of the best in the league. You know, as a team. He was like, we lead the league in about 5 different statistical categories on the defense. He said, we need to get back to like claiming our spot and being one of the best in the league. And that I love that talk. I'm a San Francisco 49ers fan. Yes, and that's Kyle Shanahan talk. That's when you have to remind. Sometimes you got to remind people who they are. Sometimes we got to remind ourselves. I'm a bad mother flipper. Like RJ said the other day on the Gardeners floor. And I love that Tibbs walked into that room and said that. And let me remind you who y'all are. We one of the best in the league. 5 statistical categories. Yo, he was still, I was hyped. I saw that. I was just like, that's how you talk to your team, man. That's how you talk to your team. But I agree. Deuce is going to be all right.
He's going to be all right.
Let me take a look at a few more of these comments before we hop into who is the chopped cheese of the game. So Blaze 1BX also says, of course, gotta throw Melo in there. My bad.
Don't apologize, man. You know what I mean? I still rock my Melo jersey, man.
You know what I mean? Yo, Chancious,
don't apologize.
that's his guy, all the way from Syracuse. That's always been his guy.
Yes,
Probably
sir.
before that. Steve Mendez says facts. Listen, man, my chopped cheese of the game, and I'm glad that we talked about it, was McBride. You know, for me, McBride, I love, like, man, I don't know if it's going to be talked about enough. What we had to endure to keep this young core together. You know, I made a video a couple of, months back, similar to the Yankees having their core four with Jeter, Mariano, and Posada, and Pettit. We have a core four young players. We have Mitch, RJ, Obi, IQ. You know, and then you added Grimes and Deuce to that. We've really been doing our thing in terms of our scouting, our drafting, and our development. Knicks fans continue to repeat the narrative of the media that we don't develop players in New York, that players can't develop in New York. You can't tell me that we're not developing these players.
Nah, we doing a hell of a good job, man.
Bro, I don't even want to talk about Sims.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So the only one way to really kind of mature fast is to be thrown into the fire. And these players are being thrown into the fire right now.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, man. I'm proud of Deuce. All right, so we're going to talk about the quarter water chance. The quarter water is that player that comes in, whether they have an impact on the quarter or they have a little bit of impact throughout the game. Last night's game, who was the quarter water for you?
I'm going to go with Fournier, man.
Talk your talk.
I'm going to go with Fournier, man. You know, yo, it's like Tibbs, just listen to me, man, a little bit, man. Them boys were shooting. Yo, Houston was very hot in the first half of three-point land, man.
Yes, they
were. And getting the Fournier side in, and for him to come in and hit a few shots, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a big, I think he only had 8 points, but, he came in, hit some shots. I was like, it showed, I was like, okay, there's going to be certain, I know we short-handed, so that's probably the reason why, but still, he come, we got a shooter there. He's just, he ain't going to play a lick of defense, but
That's
he
right.
gonna come and give you some buckets, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So when we need that spark, say IQ is off or whatever that might be, we got a shooter there, man. Let's use him, man. Quarter water, man. My man Fournier, man, got an opportunity, did his thing.
That's right. He was mine as well. Fournier had 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist.
Okay.
Just a professional, man. He's just a professional, bro. I remember when he was the first one to catch that stray, and Tom Thibodeau was just like, "Yo, we're gonna have to sit you down." You know what I mean? Just be ready, do your best to stay ready, be ready, and when we need you, we're gonna come for you. And the media really went to Fournier and was asking him, like, "What's your response to being benched or whatever have you?" Fournier's response was, "Listen, Tibbs is really trying to win." He said, "Only thing I got to do is do my job." For him to say that, man, and for the young players on the team to see a veteran respond that way, of course he wants to play. You know what I mean? But everything, whether it's Rose, whether it's Cam has been, like, kept his mouth shut. You can see his body language. He wants to get out there. They pros.
Yeah.
One of his best friends, on the team is the star of the team. He wants to get out there and show he can prove he's in a contract year. But you ain't heard nothing from Cam.
Nope.
You still see that he cheering for his teammates and he gets up, he celebrates them. That type of culture, all of these things, man, they call me the Prince of Positivity on Twitter, man. You know what I mean? Just like, yo, fam,
P.O.P.
they just like, yo, you, are you being a realist or are you being a Tibbs, a Tibbs supporter or whatever have you? And I'm like, yo, honestly speaking, I see all of the growth. I just see it. It's so crazy. I'm looking at it. There's going to be a day where it clicks.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a problem for the league. I'm telling you. We are a couple of pieces away, but they're raising their value right now. So quarter water goes to Fournier.
Yes, sir.
Now, to my nah son nah moment of the day, and I think this is going to really tie in a lot of what's been in the chat. Let me run to the chat real quick. Let's talk about it. So Whale Flower says, Nice to hear that Fournier got off a little bit. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Fournier.
Yes, sir.
Also says we're going to need the veterans to make any kind of playoff run. 100% facts. 100% facts.
Yes, sir.
Will Flower, exactly. All right, it says pros, baby, 100%. 100%.
POP. That's what I said, POP.
Prince of positivity, 100%. Yo, shout out to y'all in the chat. Shout out to you, Chance. I'm gonna be using that.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
And we also got David Piccolo in the chat. I think you may be new to the channel. Shout out to you. Happy New Year, my brother. Dominance.
Happy New Year.
Which is a dominance and protection and prosperity for your family. David says the Knicks is whack. Let's go. Bring that energy. Friend or foe, we want the smoke.
Yo,
the
man.
Knicks is whack. You know they not. You know they're gonna keep the bums and get rid of Quick and Obi and the young kids. Remains to be seen. But friend or foe, you can't deny the progress and the development that we've positioned these players to be in. You know?
Yes, sir.
And I'm glad you're here, at least to my nah son nah moment of the game. And my nah son nah moment of the game, let me bring this up real quick.
Yes, sir.
Is trade rumors. So apparently it's out there that we've been contacted by Indiana and they're asking about Obi.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically saying, yo, listen, we see promise, you know, we trade you out first or whatever have you. I don't think that, I think it's only rumors in terms of what they're asking for. But
yeah,
the truth is that they reached out and they're inquiring into Obi, right? So, Chance, I'm going to be introducing something called, you know, let's throw it on the grill, okay? So we're going to throw it on the grill. We're here at Knicks Deli. Want something hot? We got something hot. We're going to throw this on the grill. This is a challenge for you. I want you to argue if we're trading Obi, then that means we're all in on Jules. Okay? So I want you to argue why we should trade Obi and give the keys to Julius. And then I also want you to argue why we should trade Julius and give the keys to Obi.
All right. So as far as trading Obi, we need some shooters back. You know, I know the reason why they want Obi, because they want to pair him with Halliburton. You know what I mean? So I think they want that they know that Miles is probably that guy that's probably going to be traded after the season or even on the trade deadline, somewhere around there. But I think they want him to team him up with Halliburton or whatever, if I say his name right. Yep. So I understand the reason why they want him. I personally don't want to trade Obi right now. I want to see healthy IQ, especially he's building his confidence coming off the bench with Obi, because we know what they did last year, you know, and they know that even sparks this year with their chemistry. So I don't want to see that. We have to be all in on Randall. We paid him and he's producing. So at the end of the day, we know that Obi is not gonna have the type of impact that Julius is gonna have on the game as far as his versatility. You know, Obi is gonna, you know, he can hit a little jumper, but he's a high energy. You know, Randall could hit from different spots on the court. So right now, you know, I'm locked in on Randall right now. He's producing. I'm seeing that all-star Randall from a couple of years ago. You know, if we're going to trade Obi, you know, we got to get back a Hield. We got to get back maybe Miles, but we have Mitchell, which I think they could play together. So that's kind of interesting. If you trade Obi and bring Miles in, you got Mitchell, Miles, and I think Randall could even play at the 3. So there's going to be
that's a huge front line.
Yo, you know, but you know what I mean. But you know, like I know Miles is he's a little versatile. You know, Miles can hit the 3. He could, you know, post up. He could do certain things. Mitchell Robinson. So I mean, there's some matchups that Tibbs could play with even if you get rid of Obi, because I think if you bring Hill and Miles over there for like maybe say Obi and a couple of picks or whatever it might be. But right now, F the rumors, man. I ain't even trying to I ain't even trying to hear none of that right now.
Thanks.
You know, let's. You know what I mean? We. I think we're in the right position. You know, I think. You know, we're in the right position. So I'm a stick with my guys right now. I want to do anything hasty unless that Hield is coming back in that trade.
Facts. All right, so shout out to you, David Piccolo, for bringing that heat. We welcome that. Who's your squad? Let us shout out your squad, but we welcome that. Friend or foe, we want the smoke. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So let me go back to the chat. Wildflower laughs. Wildflower says, nah, son, nah. We keep it Obadiah. I love it.
I'm with you, man. Yo, yeah, that bench. We can have the best bench, one of the best benches in the league. Once we get fully healthy, imagine them coming off the bench, man. That our bench with Deuce, IQ, Obi. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we locked in there.
All right, David Piccolo also adds, Julius Randle gotta go. I don't care if he putting up numbers. We will not win a chip with Randle, so might as well move on and go with the youth. It's one way. Wellflower says, ha, 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 ha. You just contradicted. Let me see. Wellflower says, keep Obi or trade Obi. You can't do both. And he also says, bench. Yeah, we need the terror squad strong. Just as somebody said, we're going to need the veterans for the playoffs. We need our bench intact. Our bench is an advantage against most teams on any given night in the NBA. We got the terror squad. When we're right and we're healthy, we got Obi, IQ coming off of the bench. You know, in that rotation, we got Jericho. So they're gunning and running, and we usually have RJ playing with the second unit. That's when RJ gets he gets the quarterback, the terror squad on the second unit. When we're healthy, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So one thing I love is we don't have prima donnas. These are just trade talks that front office management, they gotta consider. They gotta answer the call and listen. You know, at the end of the day, we want to have a monument. If we make a move, it has to be franchise altering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If MJ hits us up and be like, I effing hate y'all, but yo, send me your young bucks and let me send Melo over that way. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. You know, send LaMelo this way and we'll give you, listen.
Yeah, I
walk the streets at night if you send Melo over to MSG. But that Melo I'm down for anyway. But once again, I just think our bench when we're healthy, Obi, IQ, they have bought into those roles.
Yeah.
They don't complain. They just want to do their roles to the best of their ability. And repeatedly, they say, I love this team. We love our team. You know, so it's been a while. It's been a minute since we've had that type of, you know, love for the organization and for the squad. My last video, I talked about having players who take ownership of being here. Yo, we were a laughing stock 5 years ago. Yo, they were killing us. You know, and when you killing the Knicks, it's almost like, yo, you say the same thing about New York. Nobody want to come there and play there. Y'all ain't what y'all say y'all are. You ain't the Mecca. You know what I mean? Like you're the Fecca. You know, you're the fake Mecca. Like, come on, man. But we have players now who you can see from the outside looking in, they have fun. They love playing for the organization. Yeah. So that whole narrative back in the day, that ain't true. That ain't true right now.
Nah, it's not. Nah, definitely not.
Couple more comments. We got Will Flower says, gotta go mob deep for a playoff run. Talking about the bench, gotta go mob deep for a playoff run. Folk act like Juju is 75 years old. Cat ain't but 26. That's very true as well. It's very true as well.
Yes, sir.
Will Flower also says, franchise offering, but the franchise is going good now. We got a strong bench and a good team and good team players, good chemistry, coaching that can be coached, and a good front office. Yo, I'm gonna have to screen capture your joint, bro. And I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna post that on my community board, bro, because you couldn't have said it any better. I'm gonna repeat it. The franchise altering, I think you meant, but the franchise is going good now. We got a strong bench, good team players, and good chemistry, coaching that can be coached, and a good front office. I'm telling you, the Knicks look like they're making a lot of the right moves.
Yeah.
And some of their best moves have been not making moves at all.
Yeah.
You know
And I
what I
totally
mean?
agree. Wait, like we'll see what happens once everybody gets healthy. Hopefully we'll get healthy before the All-Star break and then build that chemistry, have that little time off. Don't make no moves. Let's wait till after the season. Let's see where we measure up, come, after the All-Star break, seeing what happens, leading up to the playoffs. If we make the playoffs or if we're in the play-in or whatever the case may be, and see how we measure up, see exactly what we need, and let the front office do what they need to do as far as the draft, as far as trades, whatever that might be done. But right now, I don't feel like any move, unless it's really, really, really one of those moves that's gonna really be impactful. And which I don't see really happening. Like I said, if they ask him for Obi, I know we probably like, okay, give us Miles and Hills, and you can have Obi type thing. So unless it's something like that, which I doubt it is, I'm good with the team that we have leading up to the All-Star break. Let's get healthy. Let's see what we do for the rest of the year, and let's go into the off season, and see what we could add, as far as draft and free agency.
Absolutely. We're gonna keep it up. I mean, the chat is rolling right now. So we got Joe White says it's hard to come to grips with it, but Obi is the one that gotta go. Maybe a package of Obi and Quick with some picks can bring in a serious player. It's almost time to start retooling with 19, 20-year-olds. Nah, bro. Nah, son, you wildin'.
You know what it is? And I always say, and I have a big problem, as far as when these owners, they have a lot of money, right? And I think Draymond Green said we was, paying hundreds of millions of luxury tax to win championships. I was like, you got to pay to win the championships.
Facts.
So eventually you do have to pay these players. So as much as IQ's balling out, or even OB starts balling out, eventually you got to pay these players, and we already paid a certain amount of players. I know Dolan got the money, but still, you got to pay, it's still got to be contracts being signed and money being offered to these players. So if it comes to a point where we could take on, if it's going to make a difference, and we could take on an expiring contract and have somebody that year just to get us over that hump and make a playoff push, and then, come to the off season and have that money available to go chase somebody. There's so many moving parts. But doing any trades right now wouldn't make no sense, because these guys just want a ball. They already locked in, so they're still in their rookie contracts. It really don't make no sense until it's time to really, have to pay these guys. And then that comes a point that we got to make a decision. I say Dolan, pay him. You got the money, bro. Pay him.
Facts. And I think something else that we're seeing is this is a season where all of these young players are about to get a full season under their belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can really see who they are. We want to really see what we got, The only moves I'm thinking in terms of those veterans, the veterans are definitely going to be moved, I believe. You're going to keep Rose. Rose already said, I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know he felt the love in Chicago, but that moment, they asked him about it. He said, no, I love where I am. I don't want to go anywhere. Obviously, it doesn't fall on the players. It's the organization, but I just love the fact that we finally are in a space where we have these young players going to have a full season under their belt, and we'll see where it goes. You know what I mean? But let me dive in. I just wanted to say to Joe White, I don't want to dismiss, that real quick, but to reset back to 19 or 20-year-olds, we were there. You know what I mean? Like pull, let these cats really get in these moments. They're going to have a regular season where they're figuring it out. The Deuce McBride losing and finding his shot. The IQ losing and finding his shot. RJ losing his shot at the beginning of the season and coming into his own right before his injury.
Yeah.
It's about whether or not you stick with your players and you give them an opportunity to have their downs and their ups and see which side lasts longer. And if we make the playoffs, see how these young players respond in front of a hopping MSG crowd. Because just as they get a little bit nervous, you got other teams. When we were in the playoffs 2 years ago, the Hawks were rattled. The Hawks, we just didn't have the shooting. We just didn't have shooting, and we overachieved that season, but we retooled. Now we got shooters. Put a Grimes in that playoff atmosphere. You know what I mean? Put him out there, you know, and like now, and see if he don't hit some open shots. If he don't lock down a tray, and we don't got dues for, you know what I mean, Murray. It'll be wild. It'll be wild. So it's all about having the experience.
Yes, sir.
Let me go to this chat once again. Let's see. So Juju says, Wallflower says, Juju is just like NYC. Obnoxious, passionate, committed, and when he mess up, he owns it. Yes, I agree. I think I said a little bit earlier at the start of the season, Julius is becoming a New Yorker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, it seems like the longer he stays, the more you can't deny him. Like he ain't running from the smoke. You know, he had one of those moments where he hit us with the thumbs down, and he felt the backlash of us at that point. His wife got in the fight as well, but they ain't running. You know, watch his son grows up and gets drafted to the Bulls and busts our ass for 50 years. Watch. Watch. His cat.
Put the thumbs. He'll put the thumbs down of MSG on us.
Yo, look, what is it? Kyden's going to come back with digital receipts for Knicks fans.
Word.
But once again, I agree. I think, you know, Jules is just, he's official now, man. He's almost getting to that point where it's just like, he's almost at the point statistically where he is overtaking, he's putting his name in the Knicks record books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So before we know it, we're going to wake up and be retiring this man's jersey. Like, wait, what? Man.
Yo,
hopefully.
I mean, you keep putting up these numbers and keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, the couple years ago when you was that all-star that we had on the squad, most improved player, you know, that we was 4th seed. We made, you know, that if we get back to that with Randall playing at this high level, why not, man? I don't see the reason why we can't just stick with our guy, you know, and just if we being successful. Are we gonna win a championship? We'll see what happens. You know, everything's about timing. Everything's about matchups. Everything, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it comes down to. So you never know. But if Julius keeps this level of play up and we get to that point and Julius steps up, yo, this is where stars are made of, man. You either gonna be, you know what I mean, an all-star or superstar, you know? And we'll see what happens, you know. So I'll keep our guy. You know, Obi ain't there yet. Obi, you know, he's not there yet. He's, you know, maybe one day he'll get the opportunity to showcase what he could do and get some wins. But right now it's Julius time, man. It is what it is.
Let's go. Reminder to the chat: run up the thumbs up. Run up the thumbs up for the Prince of Positivity and Chance on this call.
POP.
Let's go. So we're going to keep going. We got David Piccolo. Says Julius can score, but Julius doesn't know how to win. He is a big man that plays small. We can do better without him. I'd say the jury is out on that one. That's going to remain to be seen. Once again, you're going to be identified as a winner once you start to win. And that's what these steps are about. Right now, we're at the space where we're learning how to win consistently in New York and consistently in the NBA with this current roster. And all it takes is for them to string together like they did, not losses, but string together a couple of winning streaks. 4 games here, 3 games here, you know, another 4 games, 5 games here, 3 games here. Keep the losing streaks to 3 and up those winning streaks. And before we know, we're going to be at the end of the season. We're going to be in the 4th or the 5th playoff seed, and we see where it goes from there. So
and stars, and a lot of, I think sometimes we get away from the fact that when it comes to these playoffs, stars, this is when stars step up and they align and they win. And we seen it last year with Boston, who stepped up. You know, we was all saying Boston's gonna win last year, and Stephen Curry's like, you must have forgot. You know,
that's right.
You know, so we always gonna need that person that's gonna have to front that load as far as scoring. And right now that's Julius on our team. You take Julius off of that starting lineup and put Obi there, maybe we'll make the playoffs, but we're gonna depend on RJ every night, dropping, consistently dropping 27, 28, 30 points a game and being efficient. I think people missing out that Randall is playing within the game and he's being very efficient. It's not that Randall we seen last year doing spin moves and a ball flying out of bounds between his legs. We're not seeing none of that.
Love that.
And everything. But we have him, and we got Bronson. That's that guy that's anchoring everything and putting him in the right positions to be effective. And that's what that's what we're seeing. And we're not gonna make it far if we don't got everybody working together as far as RJ, Bronson, and Randall.
Absolutely. Your chance, man. Once again, let me quarterback this thing.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to rapid fire these comments, man, because I didn't realize there was some more at the bottom. So let me
get it. Get to
Will
it.
Flower says exactly. It's the trades you don't make.
Yeah.
Okay. Will Flower also says playoffs, one game at a time, one round at a time. If we play D, we're gonna make a run. Facts. Will Flower says, nah, son, nah, you wildin'. Piccolo also says David Piccolo, says Fournier, Rose, Randall, and RJ gotta go. Invest in Quick and Obi and Grimes. Joe White says, what I'm saying is you have Brunson, 25, RJ, 22, Julius, 26, Mitch, 24, and Grimes, 22. Not saying move Obi and Quick now, but these players are developing. Can't keep them all.
That's a fact.
Good point.
Yeah.
Joe White also says, then you retool and bring young players into the rotation and system. All right. I see you moving logically, Joe. David Piccolo says, I only want one lefty on the team. The other two gotta go.
Yo, if you face it, he's like the worst GM. I'm sorry, David, man. Yo, if you're gonna get rid of people because you got too much lefties on the team, man. Yo, man, we try to get these wins, man. Shout out to David, though, man.
Yo, David hitting that new year, right, boys? Like, all the lefties out.
Yo, get everybody out, man.
Fact. Will Flowers says, just keep playing.
Yeah.
Also agrees and says exactly. Will Flowers says some Ken Griffey Jr. stuff. Will Flowers says, actually, I can live with that because we are still living under the Bernard King curse for not returning that number. For not retiring that number.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Bernard King needs to be in the rafters, bro. All right, so we also got my bad, where we at? Retiring 30 for King and Juju. Got you.
Yeah.
You see, Will Flowers says exactly what stars are what stars are made of. Obi ain't there yet. Let the kid be a kid. Joe says at David Piccolo, nah, son, nah, you wildin'. There is no way you see Julius play embarrassing these young boys that Knicks fans was begging for in the draft and act like he's not a baller. Stars learn to win. Yep.
Yeah.
And we got one more comment where Will Flowers says, Cash just need to get healthy and let the players play.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
That's all I'm saying. Exactly.
Knicks fans, listen to me. The roster, the coaching staff, the organization, right now we're where we need to be with who we have for this moment. The reason I think these players are really coming into their own is the coach. Like they know what to expect with him, and sometimes that's to expect the unexpected. They know exactly what they're getting from Tibbs. Tibbs is going to push them. Tibbs is going to challenge them. But one thing I don't see that I'm starting to see in Atlanta is I don't want to say factions, but little cliques.
Yeah.
And they're beefing with their head coach. They're beefing with his moves. They're beefing with some of his rotations. They're beefing, and it's now in the media. Well, we heard that Trae Young didn't show up to a practice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's a lot that's going on, a lot of drama that we were accustomed to in the Isaiah Thomas era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? we had our coach fly out to LA, and then he got involved with Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes is Come on, man. Like, it was so much external drama.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. We don't
We
have
had
none
a
of that
GM
right
or
now.
a president that was in LA, like he was still running the Lakers organization more than he was in New York running New York organization.
Yeah, our GM
How you
president
on a
was,
different coast 3 hours away trying to do business, man? What's that make, man?
Phil was wilding.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he
He
wasn't.
was sleeping during. Come on, man. Look, we're in such a better place organizationally. Just let it ride out. You know, so Wellflower says Cats just need to get healthy and let the players play. Also says don't panic. Also says TF y'all panicking for. The playoffs is where the stars are made. Facts.
Yeah.
And lastly, to tie it up, is Wellflower saying, ouch, Derek Fisher, bro. We had to throw that in there. You know what I mean? Phil was nah, son, nah, like a mother flipper. Yes, yo, you right.
Yeah.
But yo, I want to thank y'all all for staying on the live. I know we done chipped into NFL Sunday. My Niners play at 4 o'clock, so I'd be selfish to keep you. I'll stay. But I know some of y'all got 1 o'clock games. Chance, man, any last thoughts? Any thoughts on anything that may have been taking place in the NBA overall? Shout out to LeBron hitting 47 the other night.
Yeah, man. You know, shout out to LeBron. I know he hit 47 on his 38th birthday in Atlanta. I already know he was turned up in Atlanta. You know, after doing what he did, man. Shout out, happy birthday to him. You know, happy New Year to everybody. You know,
yes.
Big game tomorrow, man. Phoenix. I think it's an early game too, like 3 o'clock against Phoenix, I believe. You know,
and the get back game on Wednesday against San Antonio.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so we got some things going on, man. Happy New Year, man. Enjoy, be safe, and and just enjoy family and love. You know, same old thing, man, all the time.
100%. So I'm going to end on these comments here. David is signing out saying, I'm sorry, Julius is good. The thing is, Julius is being paid and looked to as the number one guy, and he is not that. He is taking up cap room and a roster spot. We can get the same production elsewhere. All right. Wellflower says, enjoyed y'all. We enjoyed you too. Happy New Year to all of you. Also says, greetings from Western Romania, Wellflower. All the way from Romania.
Shout out.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. We got some Knicks fans over there, no doubt.
Yes. Say what's up to our guy over there. How you gonna say it? Because I don't want to get my channel canceled. Wellflower says, happy birthday, Bron, and happy New Year 2023, baby.
Sir.
Wellflower says, retire number 30. And he also says, no rings until you do. No rings until you retire Bernard King's jersey. Hopefully that's not the case. We're just now getting over this Patrick Ewing curse. But that's it, man. Keep in mind, best thing applies to us, applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. Do me a favor, run up the thumbs up. Thank you for rocking with us. Keep supporting us. And we need to get this win in Phoenix and San Antonio this week. All right? Happy New Year to you all. Peace.